From St. Louis Park High School, ParkTV Sports presents the 2019 Section 6 3A Girls Volleyball Tournament featuring the 7th-seeded Minneapolis Washburn Millers and the 2nd-seeded St. Louis Park Orioles. Hi everybody, I'm Howard Luloff welcoming you to Section Volleyball action. It's that time of year, the weather is cold. High school sports go inside except for football and soccer playoffs. And it's section volleyball time in St. Louis Park as the Orioles, having their best season under head coach Whitney Mayorado-Simon, as well as program history, coming in as the number 2 seed with a record of 21-6. They swept the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights last Tuesday, 3-0. They will go up against the Minneapolis Washburn Millers, the number 7 seed in the section, with a record of 14-9, a member of the Minneapolis City Conference. They were City Conference champions this season under head coach Jasmine Draper, who I had the chance to talk to before the match tonight. The key was focusing on quick offense and spot serving. We'll explain spot serving a little bit later. But it's just like spot bowling, where you try to hit a target. And in serving, you try to hit one of the 6 spots on the floor for any of the players. All 6 zones. Well, I was talking to head coach Whitney Mayorado-Simon before the match, and she was telling me that they're excited to host a section game after years of going to other facilities for section play. The Orioles looking for their first trip to the Xcel Energy Center. They have not played in a state tournament in the program's long history. They are the number 2 seed behind the Bloomington-Jefferson Jaguars, who beat the Orioles this season and are looking for their first trip in about 28 years. Back then, they were coached by Doug Bergman and had 2 outstanding players, Becky Bauer, who later went on to the University of Minnesota as a setter, and Marissa Kimbrough, who did not play in the state tournament her senior year because she tore her ACL. Washburn will be serving first in the opening set. As the ball goes into the net, St. Louis Park picks up the first point. We're glad you can join us from St. Louis Park High School as Elsa Berglund will be serving for the Orioles. There's a set to the right side and a block on the left. A back set. Reagan Alexander goes off a Washburn player. 2 in a row for the Orioles as we take another look at the point. It looked like it deflected off of Claire Johnson. There's a shot by Piper Condas, the setter, and the ball will go out of bounds 3 in a row for St. Louis Park. As Elsa Berglund will continue to serve for the Orioles. And it goes to head coach Jasmine Draper. 4 in a row for the Orioles. As the Millers have 4 players back on defense. Hannah Howell going after the ball, and she makes the hit. Off of Berglund. Goes out of bounds. Washburn is on the board as Hannah Howell was unable to make the play. As we get our first substitution of the opening set. And she will serve, it will be Amy Dolney. You'll have to bear with us, by the way. The Washburn numbers are a little bit difficult to read. They are orange numbers on a field of blue, as the Orioles will get the ball back as the ball goes out of bounds. It will be Addie Ward serving for the Orioles. There's a back bump by Audrey Heppenstall as it goes out of bounds. 5-point lead for the Orioles. They put together a 4-0 run before Washburn got on the board. As the ball goes into the net, a point for the Millers. Heppenstall will be serving for Washburn, located in South Minneapolis off of 50th Street. Kendall Coley on the hit, and a point for the Orioles. It's a 5-point lead for St. Louis Park on the hit by Kendall Coley, who also plays basketball for head coach Arsenio Richardson. Going out of bounds, and another point for St. Louis Park. It is a 6-point lead and a timeout for the Millers, with St. Louis Park up 8-2. By the way, if you would like to order a copy of tonight's match, first we will take a look at the bracket and see Bloomington Jefferson, the #1 seed, going up against their former Lake Conference rivals, the Burnsville Blaze. Burnsville is in the South Suburban Conference. 2 Lake Conference teams are in the upper bracket, the Edina Hornets and the Hopkins Royals. The winner will play either Robbinsdale Armstrong out of Plymouth and the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights. If the Orioles win, we will be back with you on October 29th, right here at St. Louis Park for semifinal action. The winner will go to the section final, which will be played at the high seed. As Michaela Windward will serve for the Orioles. Windward, the Orioles setter. Short, and another point for St. Louis Park. They lead by 7 as we take another look. There was a set by Piper Condas as the ball entered the net. And another point for St. Louis Park. It wouldn't count as a service ace because the ball did not hit the floor, as Windward will continue to serve. A right side hit by Faith Johnson. As we take another look at the hit by Johnson. And Paul, you got it up on the screen. There's an outstanding right side hit from Faith Johnson. She is a junior. As the ball goes back toward the camera, where nobody is handling the camera, as the lead is up to 10. Everything going St. Louis Park's way in the opening set. Windward, Hannah Howell, as Washburn picks up the point with the ball going out of bounds. It is now 12-3 in favor of the Orioles, as the block on the right side went out of bounds. Windward, and the Orioles get a point. Hannah Howell will serve on another outstanding play in the center of the net. There's a back set. Retrieved in the back row by Howell. And a long hit by Coley goes out of bounds. 8 point for the Millers. Lucy Mittag, a senior, will enter for Washburn. Coley, and there's a block in the front. And another block, but it goes out of bounds. St. Louis Park will lead by 10. As we get the Orioles' first substitution of the opening set, Annie Holden, one of 8 seniors for veteran head coach Whitney Myrado Simon. There's a back set. And retrieved by Faith Johnson. Hannah Howell on the kill. The lead is 11. Hannah Howell has been playing pretty well in this opening set. As you take a look at her make the kill on the set from Michaela Winward. Windward. The ball bounces off the ceiling and retrieved by the setter Condas, and it goes out of bounds. The lead is 12. And Holden will serve for the Orioles. Condas. Retrieved in the back row by Howell. There's a back set from Condas. Howell in the back row. The Orioles' lead is 13. 17-4 as you look once again at the set and the kill from Hannah Howell. Windward with a high set. Howell in the back row. Windward. As the ball goes over by the center Condas. Washburn will pick up the point. 17-5. There is a substitution for the Orioles as Coley comes back in, and Holden will take a breather. Elsie Koski will be serving for the Millers. Condas. Picked up in the back row by Ward. Condas. Goes off of Windward. 2 in a row for the Millers. The first time in the set the Millers have scored 2 straight points as we take another look at the hit. Koski goes out of bounds. The lead is back to 12. As a fan on the left waves your play-by-play man. And we say hi, as well as to all of you for tuning in to Section 6-3A Volleyball right here on ParkTV as we take a look at the block. Windward. A little traffic on the right side as St. Louis Park picks up the point. 19-6, Orioles in front. But it goes out of bounds. Washburn will serve 19-7. As Maya Betzer, one of 3 setters rostered for the Orioles. The other are Windward and Olivia Lanesbury. Now, if the Lanesbury name sounds familiar, she is the sister of St. Louis Park boys soccer player Dan Lanesbury. He wore number 14 this season. An errant block goes past Elsa Berglund's hit 5 points to go for the Orioles. As Elsa Berglund will serve. Windward. There's a block, but it's retrieved by Ward. Howell on the hit. Hannah Howell's been playing some outstanding volleyball in the opening set as we take another look at the left side hit by Hannah Howell. Sounds alliterative, doesn't it? But it goes into the net, a point for the Millers, who enter section play, winning 3 of their last 4 matches. Their only loss in that run was to St. Paul Highland Park, nicknamed the Scots. Dolney on the serve. Windward. Hannah Howell once again. Outstanding left side play from Howell as we take another look at the kill. She just dinks it over. 3 points to go for the Orioles. That's Windward. A block goes nowhere. A 15-point lead for St. Louis Park as we take another look. Washburn's used 1 timeout already. But the serve goes out of bounds back to the Millers. Set point, St. Louis Park. As Faith Johnson returns for the Orioles. Condas. A block in the center. The first set goes to the St. Louis Park Orioles, 25-9. We will take a break and we'll be back with the second set of the 2019 Section 6 3A Girls Volleyball Tournament between the Minneapolis Washburn Millers and the St. Louis Park Orioles. You're watching the 2019 Section 6 3A Girls Volleyball Tournament on ParkTV 16.
We are there, day one, with baby names and a gift that lasts a lifetime. We are there as you grow, protecting you and those you love. And we are there as you start your next chapter. We are with you through life's journey. We are Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. Get to know us at socialsecurity.gov.
Howard Luloff back at St. Louis Park High School, where the St. Louis Park Orioles easily defeated the Washburn Millers in the opening set, 25-9. Outstanding play on the left side from Hannah Howell, who is one of 8 juniors on the Orioles. Before we get underway with the second set, we would like to extend our condolences to a couple of people who passed away. George Hahn, the longtime Park and Rec director for St. Louis Park, was involved with the rec center, passed away. And on the Washburn side, George Wiemeyer, who was a longtime head football coach for Minneapolis Washburn, passed away a couple of days ago. As the ball goes out of bounds, the Orioles pick up the opening point of the second set as the ball just barely goes out of bounds. As Faith Johnson will serve for the Orioles. Goes off of Sophia Gardine, 2 in a row for the Orioles. George Wiemeyer was the head coach of the Minneapolis Washburn Millers. The first year state tournament play was instituted in football in 1972. And they won state championships in 72 and 73. As the ball goes out of bounds, Washburn is on the board. They didn't get their first point of the first set until it was 4-0. Now it's 2-1 in favor of the Orioles, with Piper Conda serving. A sidearm hit from Windward. For the first time in the match, it's all even at 2. As we take another look, Washburn has never led in the match so far, and they have a chance to take the lead. Windward with a back set. And a kill from Reagan Alexander. The Orioles go back in front. Alexander, like Coley, also is on the girls' basketball team. As Berglund will serve for the Orioles. Hannah Howell on the hit. Windward back to Howell. Windward goes off a Washburn player, Alexander, on the hit, and a point for the Orioles, who lead by 2 as we take another look at the hit from the center front line by Reagan Alexander. Lauren Kelly for the Millers. Windward. Hannah Howell on the hit. 3 straight points for the Orioles, who have scored 3 in a row since the set was tied at 2. Off of Alexander. And it looked like there was a net violation on the play as we take another look. The ball landed on top of the net, but it didn't stick. There's a block in the center. Windward and Alexander were on the block. That's Swarg. Back set. Reagan Alexander on the kill as it goes out of bounds. 5 straight points for the Orioles. As Berglund continues to serve. She had a service ace in the Benilde St. Margaret's match to conclude the regular season. As the ball goes into the net, 6 in a row for the Orioles. As the ball goes into near the bleachers, 7 straight for the Orioles, who started the season 8-0 before losing to the Chaska Hawks on September 17th. A left-handed hit from Sophia Gardine. Contas. A center block from Alexander. Alexander with a hit. 8 straight points for St. Louis Park, as they are moving the ball around very well in the second set. Berglund once again with the serve. Retrieved in the back row by Windward, and Washburn ends the run of 8 in a row from the Orioles. Heppenstall will serve for the Millers. A service ace. 2 in a row for the Millers. Windward, Hannah Howell. Windward on the block as the Orioles pick up a point and lead by 7 as we take another look. Windward on the right side with the block. Ward on the serve. Coley. Windward on the hit from the center front as Minneapolis Washburn will call timeout, 8-point lead for St. Louis Park. Well, the St. Louis Park football season may have ended since they lost to the Irondale Knights on Tuesday in the Section 5 5A quarterfinals 30-28, but there is plenty of football coming up on ParkTV 16. Coming up Saturday, when the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights, the #1 seed in Section 5 4A, take on the Holy Angel Stars. It should be an interesting section, Paul, because the #2 seed has been one of the top teams in Minnesota, as well as the defending state 4A champion, the SMB Wolfpack. By the way, for those of you unfamiliar with the SMB Wolfpack, it's a co-op between the St. Paul and Minnehaha Academies and Blake. They play their home games at the beautiful Gordy Ahmet Stadium on the Blake campus. If you haven't been to a game at Blake, do go. It's an outstanding facility. With SMB, led by quarterback Jalen Suggs, who also was outstanding on the basketball court. As the ball goes out of bounds, Washburn picks up a point. The lead is down to 7. With Heppenstall serving. Windward. Coley on the hit. A right side kill from Kendall Coley. The lead is back to 8. As we take another look at the hit by Kendall Coley. And she does have a bit of a connection to Washburn. Her father was the head girls basketball coach at Washburn when they were in the state tournament. As the Orioles take a 9-point lead, but Kendall once again will be playing basketball for St. Louis Park. Washburn will pick up a point as the serve goes out of bounds. 8-point lead for the Orioles. With Gardine serving. Sophie Gardine. The left-handed serve. Hannah Howell on the hit. The lead is back to 9 as we take another look. And Hannah Howell's right-hand hit going right through the ball with her right hand. Retrieved by Windward. Howell. That's Ward, the libero. Windward. Coley on the center hit. The lead is now 10. As we take another look at the center hit by Kendall Coley. Washburn has used one timeout. St. Louis Park has both of them. A right side block from Faith Johnson. The lead is 11. As we take another look at the Faith Johnson block. A good block on the right side of the net. There's a hit. Howell in the back row. Berglund goes out of bounds. It's a 10-point lead. As Mittag is back in for the Millers. Earlier, I was talking about spot setting. As we take another look, that was an example of spot setting that was headed to the back row as the Orioles pick up another point. The lead is back to 11 with Annie Holden returning for the Orioles. Holden will also serve. As Washburn picks up the point. As we take another look at that last point. A net serve goes back to St. Louis Park with Faith Johnson serving. The serve goes out of bounds. The lead is back to 10. As Maya Betzer is back in for the Orioles. Back set from Contos. 2 straight points for the Millers. Second time in this set. They have scored 2 points in a row. As we take another look at the left side hit. Windward with the back set. Berglund on the kill. 5 points to go for St. Louis Park. And it looks like we're going to have a replay. The back set by Windward and Berglund on the left side for the kill. Goes out of bounds. 4 points to go for St. Louis Park. As we take another look. The ball went out of bounds past Ward. As Berglund's serve goes out of bounds, a point for the Millers. Windward. Alexander on the hit. They have doubled Washburn. As Alexander goes out, Coley is back in. That's probably what you'll see at basketball this winter. As the ball goes into the Washburn bench and it was caught by Elsie Koski. 2 points to go. Ward in the back row. Windward. Coley. A net violation. Set point. St. Louis Park. Coley. St. Louis Park is up 2 sets to none. They have won the second set 25-11. We'll take a break and we'll be back with the third and possibly deciding set in the 2019 Section 6 3A Girls Volleyball Tournament. You're watching the 2019 Section 6 3A Girls Volleyball Tournament right here on ParkTV 16.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Howard Lula back at St. Louis Park High School, where you look at the scoreboard. The Orioles have won 2 straight sets, 25-9 and 25-11 over the Minneapolis Washburn Millers. We'll take a look at the top 10 in Class 3A, the final ranking, in just a moment, as Washburn will serve first, with Piper Conda serving for the Millers. Goes out of bounds and a point for the Orioles. As we take a look at the top 10 teams in Class 3A girls volleyball, the Eagan Wildcats are number 1, followed by the Northfield Raiders second, Wayzata third, as the Orioles pick up another point on the kill. 2 in a row for St. Louis Park, as we take another look at the block in the front row from Hannah Howell. Berglund on the serve. A violation, 3 in a row for St. Louis Park. The Eastridge Raptors are 4th, Shakopee is 5th, the Minnetonka Skippers are 6th, Lakeville North 7th, St. Michael Albertville is 8th, Lakeville South is 9th, and rounding out the top 10, the Champlin Park Rebels, as Washburn is on the board. We take another look at Washburn picking up their first point. Pontus on the hit, Mittag with the kill. Alexander. Windward. Retrieved in the back row by Pontus. Orioles are up by 3. In Class 2A girls volleyball, the number 1 team is the Stewartville Trojans. Stewartville coached for many years by John Zubay, and they played at the Met Center several times. Pontus in the back set. Howell on the kill. A 4-point lead for the Orioles. Other metro area teams in 2A, North Branch is 3rd, Concordia Academy 5th, the Southwest Christian Stars are 6th, Watertown Mayor is 7th, and Belle Plaine is 10th. The ball goes in front of Lauren Kelly. 5-point lead for the Orioles, as Ward will serve. Goes out of bounds off of Mittag. The lead is 6. Number 1 team in Class 1A, the Mayor Lutheran Crusaders, led by the veteran head coach Joel Grimsley. Howell. And Coley sends it out of bounds off of a Washburn player. 8-1 St. Louis Park. As we look again. Contis goes out of bounds. The lead is 8. The Orioles dominating the early part of the third set. The string has ended. Washburn will serve with Heppenstall. Howell. Ellen Brower for the Millers. Coley on the kill. Back to an 8-point lead for the Orioles. An outstanding motion from Coley. Howell goes out off a Washburn player. The lead is 9. Contis. Windward with a high set to Howell. And she picks up another kill. Hannah Howell having a fine match. As you take a look at the kill from the junior Hannah Howell. Berglund goes in front of the Oriole bench. It's a 9-point lead for St. Louis Park. Goes into the net. 10-point lead for the Orioles. Good block in the center from Coley. Goes into the net. The lead is now 11. Bounces off the ceiling. A point for St. Louis Park. As Minneapolis Washburn will call timeout. With the lead now 12, 15-3. A reminder once again, if you would like to order a copy of the quarterfinal match in the Section 6 3A Girls Volleyball Tournament, go to www.parktv.org or go to our viewer hotline at 952-924-2631, where you can talk to our producer-director, Paul Broden, who's bringing you the sights as well as the sounds of tonight's Section 6 3A Girls Volleyball match, with the winner playing the Benilde St. Margaret's Armstrong winner Tuesday, October 29th, and ParkTV will be on hand right here at St. Louis Park. 7 o'clock start. And we hope you can make it. Even if you haven't seen the girls volleyball team this season, do come. They play an outstanding brand of girls volleyball. Faith Johnson on the kill. As we take another look, and that is not a football score, fans. 16-3. Howell in the back row. Ward goes out of bounds in front of Berglund and up about 6 rows of bleachers. Caught by a fan, but unfortunately, she can't take it home for a souvenir. She'd love to get it autographed by the team, but unfortunately, it's the game ball. Berglund. They watch it go. And St. Louis Park is up by 13. As Coley comes out, Holden serving for the Orioles. A service ace for Holden. The lead is 14 as Sophie Gardine returns for the Millers. Contas goes into the net. Intended for Claire Johnson. Claire Johnson, described by head coach Jasmine Draper as a player who plays in all 6 rotations and places her hits strategically. As there was another timeout. A reminder once again that there is high school football coming up this weekend at Benilde St. Margaret's as the Orioles will host the Holy Angel Stars. It's a 7 o'clock game. Hopefully the weather won't be too chilly that day. It's supposed to be around 50, but the weather picture next week is supposed to be around the 40s. So if you plan to go to the Saturday night football game, we urge you to dress warm. 4 points to go for St. Louis Park as Holden continues to serve. As it goes out of bounds. Faith Johnson is in as well as Berglund. Kelly on the serve as Washburn picks up a point. It's a 14-point lead for the Orioles. Reagan Alexander placed the ball well. Four points to go for the Orioles as you look at Alexander's hit once again. Contas. An excellent block by Berglund on the left side. It's a 16-point lead. As we take another look at the block by Elsa Berglund. Goes out of bounds. 2 points to go for St. Louis Park and a trip to the semifinals. Contas. A sidearm hit. Berglund on the kill. Match point, St. Louis Park. Faith Johnson will serve. The St. Louis Park Orioles are heading to the Section 6 3A semifinals, winning the third set by a score of 25-8.
Congratulations to the Orioles winning in 3 sets. Thank you everybody for coming to tonight's 6 AAA.
Time to take a recap of the Section 6 3A quarterfinal match between Minneapolis Washburn and St. Louis Park. St. Louis Park had some outstanding frontline play from Ken McCauley and Ray Alexander, as well as outstanding outside hitting from Hannah Howell as they won the first set 25-9. And it carried over into the second set with outstanding hitting from Howell as they would win 25-11. As we take another look at the Section 6 3A bracket, St. Louis Park has advanced and they will play the winner of Armstrong and Benilde St. Margaret's on Tuesday the 29th, and ParkTV 16 will be present to carry the game. Continuing the recap of the match, after a one-point lead for St. Louis Park, 2-1, St. Louis Park dominated with outstanding blocking in the front from Alexander and Coley, as well as outstanding serving from Annie Holden, the junior. And the Orioles won the third set 25-8, winning the match 3-0, and a trip to the semifinals, where once again they will play the winner of the Armstrong-Benilde St. Margaret's game, which is going on tonight at Haben Center on the Benilde St. Margaret's campus. Other quarterfinal games are Burnsville at Bloomington Jefferson and Edina and Hopkins. If Jefferson wins, they will host the second semifinal game on Tuesday, the 29th. For our producer-director, Paul Broden, and the rest of our ParkTV 16 crew, this is Howard Luloff saying goodbye and reminding you once again the final score in the quarterfinals of the Section 6 3A girls volleyball tournament. The St. Louis Park Orioles sweeping the Minneapolis Washburn Millers 3-0. The Orioles heading for the semifinals. So long, everybody.